In this lesson, you'll learn useful business English for procurement, supplier evaluation, and vendor management. Let's begin. Phrase 1. Issue a request for proposal. Issue a request for proposal. Meaning, to formally invite suppliers to submit solutions and commercial offers. Example, the company will issue a request for proposal to 5 qualified technology vendors. A request for proposal explains needs, evaluation criteria, timing, and response requirements. It supports fair comparison. Use this phrase when beginning a structured competitive purchasing process. Now repeat, issue a request for proposal. Phrase 2. Compare supplier bids. Compare supplier bids. Meaning, to examine competing supplier offers against the same requirements. Example, the committee compared supplier bids on price, delivery, quality, and support. A bid comparison should consider total value and risk, not only the lowest price. Consistent criteria improve fairness. Use this phrase after vendors submit formal responses. Now repeat. Compare supplier bids. Phrase 3. Evaluate vendor capability. Evaluate vendor capability. Meaning, to assess whether a supplier has the resources and expertise to deliver. Example, a site visit will help us evaluate the vendor's capability before selection. Capability includes people, technology, capacity, quality systems, and financial strength. Evidence is more reliable than promises. Use this phrase during supplier qualification and due diligence. Now repeat. Evaluate vendor capability. Phrase 4. Negotiate commercial terms. Negotiate commercial terms. Meaning, to discuss and agree on price, payment, volume, and other business conditions. Example, Procurement is negotiating commercial terms while legal reviews the contract language. Commercial terms determine the financial and operational basis of a purchase. Negotiation may cover discounts, payment timing, or commitments. Use this phrase separately from technical and legal discussions. Now repeat. Negotiate commercial terms. Phrase 5. Select a preferred supplier. Select a preferred supplier. Meaning, to choose the vendor that best meets the organization's requirements. Example, the panel selected a preferred supplier after completing the final scoring. Selection should follow documented evaluation and required approvals. Preferred status may still depend on successful contract negotiation. Use this phrase when the competitive assessment reaches a recommendation. Now repeat. Select a preferred supplier. Phrase 6. Agree on service levels. Agree on service levels. Meaning, to establish measurable standards for the performance a supplier must provide. Example, we agreed on service levels for response time, availability, and issue resolution. Service levels turn general promises into defined expectations and measures. They may include remedies for poor performance. Use this phrase when a continuing service needs objective performance standards. Now repeat. Agree on service levels. Phrase 7. Manage supplier performance. Manage supplier performance. Meaning, to monitor and improve how well a vendor fulfills agreed expectations. Example, quarterly reviews help us manage supplier performance across quality and delivery. Performance management uses measures, communication, and corrective action. It should recognize good results as well as problems. Use this phrase throughout an active supplier relationship. Now repeat. Manage supplier performance. Phrase 8. Address a delivery shortfall. Address a delivery shortfall. Meaning, to respond when a supplier provides less or later than agreed. Example, the buyer met the vendor to address a delivery shortfall affecting production. A shortfall may involve quantity, timing, quality, or service. Addressing it requires facts, recovery action, and prevention. Use this phrase when supplier performance does not meet the commitment. Now repeat. Address a delivery shortfall. Phrase 9. Consolidate purchasing. Consolidate purchasing. Meaning, to combine buying activity to gain control, efficiency, or better terms. Example, the company consolidated purchasing for office equipment across all locations. Consolidation can reduce duplicate suppliers and increase negotiating power. It may also simplify administration. Use this phrase when several teams buy similar items separately. Now repeat. Consolidate purchasing. Phrase 10. Reduce procurement risk. Reduce procurement risk. Meaning, to lower the chance or impact of problems in purchasing and supply. Example, a backup vendor will reduce procurement risk for the critical component. Procurement risk includes supply interruption, quality failure, fraud, price volatility, and compliance issues. Control should match importance. Use this phrase when strengthening purchasing resilience. Now repeat. Reduce procurement risk. Phrase 11. Review the supplier contract. Review the supplier contract. Meaning, to examine an existing vendor agreement for performance, risk, or needed changes. Example, we will review the supplier contract before the renewal discussion begins. A review checks whether terms remain suitable and obligations are being met. It can identify changes needed at renewal. Use this phrase during relationship governance or before a significant decision. Now repeat. Review the supplier contract. Phrase 12. Develop a strategic partnership. Develop a strategic partnership. Meaning, to build a long-term supplier relationship that creates value for both parties. Example, joint innovation workshops helped develop a strategic partnership with the manufacturer. A strategic partnership goes beyond routine transactions. It may involve shared planning, improvement, and investment. Use this phrase for suppliers that are important to long-term business success. Now repeat. Develop a strategic partnership. Excellent work. You have practiced 12 expressions for procurement and vendor management. Choose 3 phrases and use each one in a sentence about a realistic supplier decision. Following the purchasing process from proposal to partnership will help you remember the language. Continue with the next part for more business English speaking practice.